Picture this: cobblestone streets glowing under soft golden light, a medieval castle mirrored in the glassy surface of a lake, and tall blonde women walking gracefully through Vilnius, each one dressed with that subtle European elegance that feels both classic and modern. This is Lithuania, a country most Western men barely think about. It doesn't shout for attention the way France or Italy does. Instead, it waits quietly, like a fairytale kingdom hiding behind the forest, revealing its charm only to those curious enough to look. Imagine a place where fairytale towers rise above rivers, where you can sip coffee in an old town square and feel like you've stepped back a century, and where women smile shyly yet carry themselves with quiet confidence. Life here moves with a slower rhythm. People actually take time for conversation, for family, for walking under trees as church bells echo in the distance. And here's the thing most men don't realize: Lithuania isn't just about history or scenery. It's affordable, it's romantic, and it's real. Rent for a full apartment in Vilnius can cost less than what many pay for a single room in London or New York. Nightlife here still feels authentic. Local bars, not tourist traps. And the women, they're not just beautiful. They're approachable in a way that surprises most foreigners. Lithuania is a hidden gem of Europe, and in this journey, we'll uncover why. 1. Geographic and political overview. At the edge of Europe. To understand Lithuania, you first need to place it on the map. It sits on the Baltic Sea, squeezed between Latvia to the north, Poland to the south, and Belarus to the east. To its west lies Kaliningrad, that strange little Russian enclave that still feels like a Cold War leftover. Lithuania is small, just under 3 million people, but its location has made it a crossroads of empires for centuries. Today, it feels modern, stable, and unmistakably European. Lithuania is part of the European Union and NATO, which means it's aligned with the West politically and economically. For the traveler, that means safety, good infrastructure, and the comfort of knowing you're in the Schengen zone, easy entry for anyone holding a European or American passport. Yet at the same time, Lithuania is different. It has its own language, one of the oldest in Europe, unrelated to English or German or French. It has its own rhythm, its own character. And visually, the mix is striking. Medieval Catholic churches stand beside Soviet apartment blocks, symbols of the country's layered history. It feels familiar enough for a Westerner to settle in quickly, but foreign enough to keep you fascinated. Lithuania sits right on the edge of East and West, and that's where its magic begins. 2. Culture, religion, and history. The last pagan land of Europe. If you want to understand the Lithuanian spirit, you have to go back, way back. Lithuania was the last pagan country in Europe. While the rest of the continent had embraced Christianity centuries earlier, Lithuanians held on to their old gods until the 14th century. And even today, traces of those rituals remain. Bonfires on midsummer nights, festivals where people wear wreaths of flowers and dance to folk songs that sound like they belong to another age. Yes, Lithuania is Catholic. Churches dominate the skyline, and Sunday still means family and faith. But beneath the surface, you feel something older, something rooted in nature. Lithuanians carry a deep love for forests, lakes, and the land itself. It's not just scenery, it's identity. History here has been turbulent. Lithuania once ruled as part of a mighty Grand Duchy, later tied with Poland in a powerful commonwealth. But centuries of Russian domination, followed by the crushing years of Soviet rule, left scars. When independence came in 1990, it wasn't just politics, it was a rebirth. And that pride is still alive. Culturally, Lithuanians are reserved at first. They don't open up quickly, but once trust is earned, the warmth runs deep. They love their folk music, their traditions, and above all, basketball, the national passion. Lithuania isn't just a place, it's a culture layered with resilience, pride, and quiet strength. 3. Beauty and personality of women. Blonde elegance and quiet strength. This section is the emotional centerpiece for the male audience. Lithuania is famous for its tall, blonde, blue-eyed women who embody a natural elegance. Unlike the heavy makeup trends seen in parts of the West, beauty here feels understated, fresh-faced, simple, yet deeply striking. Women in Vilnius and Kaunas often dress with modern European style, chic coats, clean lines, subtle accessories, a blend of tradition and cosmopolitan flair. Their personalities add depth to this beauty. At first, Lithuanian women can seem reserved, quiet, or even shy. But beneath that surface lies a strength shaped by history, education, and family values. They are well-read, ambitious, and culturally aware. When foreigners approach respectfully and sincerely, conversations open up about books, travel, or art, not just superficial small talk. Relationships are still rooted in tradition here. Family is important, respect is vital, and dating feels more meaningful than in fast-paced Western cultures. Imagine a cinematic scene, a cafe terrace in Vilnius, golden sunlight falling on a young woman's blonde hair as she leans forward, speaking softly yet intelligently. It feels timeless, like stepping into a fairytale moment where beauty and soul align. For daily life, cleanliness, attitudes, a slower rhythm of living daily life in Lithuania feels like breathing in a calmer rhythm. The streets are orderly, free of chaos, and public spaces are kept clean. Parks and green squares invite long walks. Riverside paths are lined with benches where people pause to chat or watch the sunset. Public transport is modern, punctual, and inexpensive, making it easy to navigate cities without stress. Lithuanians balance work with leisure far better than in many Western societies. Time is carved out for family meals, weekend hikes, or simply enjoying coffee at a neighborhood cafe. People are polite, private, and prefer calmness over loudness, an attitude that gives the country a peaceful charm. For a foreigner, life here feels less about chasing deadlines and more about savoring moments. It's almost like stepping back into a Europe of the past, but with Wi-Fi, stylish shops, and modern conveniences. A slower, more human pace of life that lets you reconnect with yourself. 5. Cost of living, wages, apartments. Europe at half the price. Lithuania is one of the best value destinations in Europe, offering modern comfort at a fraction of Western costs. In Vilnius, a central one-bedroom apartment rents for around €400 to €600, while in smaller towns like Klaipėda or Panevėžys, you might pay even less. Step inside and you'll often find clean Scandinavian-style interiors, cozy lighting, and modern kitchens, a level of comfort that feels far pricier than it is. Dining is surprisingly affordable. A good restaurant meal might cost €8 to €12, a pint of beer to euros to €3. Groceries, gyms, and public transport all run at roughly half the price of Western Europe. Nightlife, too, is wallet-friendly. Imagine enjoying cocktails and live music for less than what a single drink would cost in London. The contrast is striking. What costs $3,000 a month in London or Paris can be lived for around $1,200 here, without giving up safety, beauty, or modern infrastructure. Wages for locals average €1,200 to €1,400 per month, which means the country still feels affordable for foreigners earning Western salaries or digital nomads working online. For men seeking comfort, affordability, and romance in a European setting, Lithuania feels like Europe's best-kept financial secret. 6. Nightlife, fun, alcohol, music, vodka, beer, and Baltic beats. When the sun sets over Vilnius, the city transforms. The cobbled streets of the old town glow under neon signs, laughter echoing from underground bars and hidden courtyards. Groups of friends gather, clinking glasses of beer or pouring rounds of vodka shots, the unspoken language of celebration in the Baltics. Lithuania's nightlife is vibrant, but it feels different from the chaotic scenes of Western Europe. Here, style matters, people dress sharply, women with elegance, men with understated confidence. It isn't about stumbling through the night, it's about connection. In Vilnius, you'll find everything: techno clubs pulsing until morning, intimate jazz basements with candlelit tables, cocktail lounges where bartenders craft drinks with Baltic berries, and student bars buzzing with energy and Kaunas nights feel smaller, cozier, with live music and close-knit gatherings. Beyond the clubs, there's another rhythm: tea houses, cafes, and apartment gatherings where conversations stretch deep into the night. Foreign men often find nightlife here more approachable, more social, with women open to meeting strangers, but always expecting respect. Nightlife in Lithuania is less about wild abandon and more about moments that linger: a laugh shared, a song remembered, a midnight walk through the glowing streets of Vilnius. 7. Safety, social freedom, laws, respect, and awareness. Lithuania is safe, one of the safest places in Europe for travelers. Violent crime is almost unheard of, and even in cities, you can walk late at night with little worrying. Still, as anywhere, petty theft can occur in tourist-heavy areas, so keep an eye on belongings. The laws are clear and strictly enforced. Police tolerate no drugs. Even small amounts can lead to serious trouble. Alcohol is legal and celebrated in culture, but public drunkenness, especially in smaller towns, can draw unwanted attention socially. Lithuania is conservative compared to Western Europe. Catholic tradition, family values, and modesty still carry weight. Dating culture reflects this. Short-term flings are